The Strutt Stakes is for the 3-year-old fillies over the 2100 metre trip. I must say the prize money on hand for it did surprise me a little at 125,000. Um, Purely because we've got the Oaks in Launceston. I think it's next Sunday. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure it's next Sunday's meeting. So you've got another 3-year-old fillies race exactly 9 days later for over the same trip, 2100 metres for virtually the same prize money. I think it might be 150,000. The Oaks. So actually, sole choice. What was that race worth that it ran in the Launceston Guineas? Oh, yep. So did exactly the same with the boys. They had a 2100 metre race in Launceston for 125,000, and the Derby is worth 150. Yeah, just seems ridiculous. I suppose it smacks perfectly of Tasmania. For those of you not in the know, we do have the great divide here between north and south. Whatever one end of the state gets, the other one cries until they get it themselves, a bit like a family. Like one kid bawls their eyes out if child A gets a PlayStation, for example. They need one too. But it's been the same ever since I'm born and doesn't look like changing soon. But anyway, I digress. This should be a quick race to preview, and I've already waffled on for a couple of minutes. So, first preview back, and some things never change, eh? But anyway, looks a simple race, especially with the top two looking clear standouts. Cloudy Nights is in the betting, but impossible to see her finishing in front of Justin Eads based on the last run, let alone getting near the favourite. So first of all, I might actually concentrate on the local lead-up run there between Justin Eads and Cloudy Nights. Prior to that, Justin Eads did win and beat Bersica, who's also running in the Derby as well. Bersica came out and won its next start as well. Beat it quite comprehensively. I might actually go and have a quick look at that. They almost wear identical colours, these two. They do look the same from side on, not... So if we just... You can see them both railing up the inside here. So she's the big girl here with the nose roll, and Bersica's following. Actually, on the turn, it almost looks like he's got something left, but she just kicks in to another gear and very strong late. This was over 1400. So you can see them both pulling to the outside here. So see the big girl, one from the outside is the favourite. And this is Bersica on the outside. Just have to really like the last 100 metres here. I said this was over 1400. And as I said, this horse came out and won its next start. So some good form lines there. In the race last week, which was the standard lead into this race for the fillies.
The outside.
You can see, first of all, she does jump okay. I might just watch the start. And she lobs in fourth place. See, she's lobs in one out, one back. Also in this race, we've got Cloudy Nights backdoor inside here in fifth. And probably the other horse worth keeping an eye on is Unique Glow on the outside last, who's accepted for the Derby instead of the Oaks, which seems a little bit strange to my eye anyway. But so there wasn't too much between these two in betting here. She was favourite, Justin Eads, but Cloudy Nights was only $5.50. She does get a little bit of tightening about the 300 metre marker, and I don't know whether she just spat the bit out and didn't try after that, but the last 300 metres, it's impossible to give her any chance of beating. So if we just watch them here, instead tries to get through the middle. There's a little bit of tightening, but not like a little brush. That's about it. And if you just watch the difference in their last 200 metres, like she gets up and wins, and Cloudy Nights just sort of one bats, and even the stablemate runs past her late. So I said, it's just, I can't see how it's $7 based on that. The Cloudy Nights. So the one thing with this race though is tempo. If we go back to the Launceston Guineas, which we'll replay here, it was over 2100 metres. They ran the last 600 in sub 34 because Soul Choice was able to lead, stack them up and dash for home. First of all, we might just watch the start just to show her speed from the machine. I wish they'd always start races when she's straight over. But widest horse, you can just see she's obviously, like majority of Waterhouse bot runners, they love pinging the machines. Obviously well schooled on that front. And just you can see like they're just jog trotting down the back. It's the favourite, one out, one back, who's odds on favourite for the Oaks, about $1.30. So you just put the hammer down and then went for home about 600 metres out, and I think they ran 33.6 was the. You can see sort of, otherwise he's a seriously good horse, the favourite on the outside, and she stuck to her guns really well. She was obviously a bit flattered by an exceptional ride, but it almost looks identical that the same thing's going to happen again. And prior to that, over 2,000 metres at Flemington, she got beaten by the same horse. So straight to the front again. So she said 2,000 metre runs. Like this is obviously a bit more of a truer run race than the Launceston one, just to give a better idea of ability at the trip. You can see that just keeps finding and finding. Favourite goes back to the inside and gets the run. Actually, Midnight Glow's in the Derby here as well, out wide. Now, if we look at this run here with her, this is $1.30 favourite in the Derby, and this horse is $6.50 second favourite. And she split them and beaten the rest virtually by 4 lengths. So I think she's a clear favourite, but don't get me wrong in saying that she's a serious horse, Justin Needs. I think the only way she can beat Soul Choice is to turn it into a pure staying test, and it's a first go past a mile, so I highly doubt they're going to sort of ramp it up from 1,200 metres out and last man standing affair. So I do think Soul Choice is the winner of the race. Got the best form. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's going to lead. Even a couple of the bolters aren't going to pressure for the lead. If they do, she can just sit off them and go past whenever she wants. Anyway, for paying exotics, there's not much juice in them either. You'd imagine it does look a lock Quinella. Even though I said Cloudy Nights was a tad disappointing last time, she's still clearly ahead of the bottom two. So, yeah, I'm not too sure how you attack the race from a betting perspective. Maybe if you're bullish on Soul Choice, you can multi her with the favourite in the Derby. I'd be very surprised if he gets beaten. But, yeah, sometimes you have to take what you're given as a punter, and I think there's precious little value sometimes, and this is case A in that front. So that wraps up the Strutt Stakes, and yeah, but I do think as far as promising Tasmanian horses go, Justin Needs, she ticks a lot of the boxes as to being a promising stayer. Like, she's definitely big enough, and she's always been strong at the end of her races. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. So, but anyway, for me, I'll go 2, 1, 3, and 4 in the fillies race.